What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Cutty Sharp Conversations with Cutty, and today I have a young, up and coming entertainer here, Tron Austin, who is also the son of parents Chili and Dallas Austin. How you doing, young man, today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's good to have you on. Thank you for taking your time out to come on.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I want to say congratulations. You recently graduated college.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
What you major in and stuff?
I majored in music production. I got my bachelor's of science in music production. Funny story. I ended up, the first college that I wanted to go to was Berkeley. That was the one that I was fixated on because I'm a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into Berkeley, but Boston's weather conditions were just a little much for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like I went there for the audition, and I was like, I think I was 16, about to be 17, and
Mm-hmm.
my parents actually went with me, and it was so cold, bro. Like it was like 12 inches of snow, like. And again, the environment was great, but I just didn't really know. And I also wanted to explore other sides of music. So then Leslie Brassway, who was an engineer that actually interned at DARP, the old studio that my dad had, he graduated from Full Sail. And that's how I heard about Full Sail. So he told me about Full Sail. He was like, just saying all the different programs and stuff that they offered. So, and I was in Florida, so I was really close to Atlanta, so I could be back and forth really easily.
Mm-hmm.
So we went down to Full Sail. That was the college that I went to. I ended up majoring in music production after I switched majors. I started in recording arts, and so recording arts is more of an engineering degree. And again, with Full Sail, I could do more like with Berkeley, you try out for an instrument, and then you just kind of like you have to stay on that instrument for like the next 4 years or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
you can also explore other sides too, but like I did. If I was gonna be a drummer, I would just be a drummer. You know what I'm saying? So the Full Sail, I wanted to explore more of like the artist side, the producing side. And so I remember, I think it was my dad that kind of said, almost halfway through my recording arts degree, yo, you might as well go ahead and learn. You should just learn the theory and stuff because you're an instrumentalist. And they had told me that the recording arts degree was more like if I already knew some theory, which I did know from like drum theory from like high school and middle school, they were like that because it'll be different or something like that. But I said whatever, cool. And then pretty much I didn't restart the whole like program, but I pretty much had to start like if I'm in month like 15 in the other one, I had to start back to month 6. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So that's what I did, and I was okay with it because I was like, this is gonna be the best time for me to really like learn, everything I can before I just go into the music industry like that. Like I want to have a lot of knowledge first.
Hmm. Yeah, and I guess everybody expects you to want to go into music. So we're gonna talk about your songs and stuff, but I don't think everybody knows like you do jujitsu. That's how you say it, right?
Jiu-jitsu,
Jujitsu,
Muay Thai. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So you ain't got no problem with self-defense.
Not at all. 5 years later, not at all. And, the cool thing, see, like, I was the type of guy where school really stressed me out. It really did, like high school and stuff. And
Hmm.
I always say that, like, there's a lot of sides that people don't see to these kind of lives or whatever. And I'm
Right.
happy to be able to talk about it. I don't have to hide anything. Like, when I'm growing up in school, it's like half the people you have to, like, imagine having to be aware of, like, snakes and stuff at, like, 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
why do you have to learn that so early? It's like being around environments and whatnot kind of made me understand real life early. Like, okay, there's gonna be these kind of people. There's gonna be people that approach you because of this. There's gonna be people that hate you because of this, and it's
Hmm.
inevitable and it's okay because you just, you couldn't be fixated on that. It's all that kind of stuff. So like, I had a real, and then like the whole school thing was just like really stressful too because it was just like I know what I really really wanted to do, but I know what I had to do to get to what I wanted to do. So
Right.
so school wasn't, it was really stressful. So then when I went to college, I was like, I want to try something like I don't really know what exactly got me into like the UFC MMA thing. It was just like a cousin or something. You know what I'm saying? I would just watch the fights. They used to be too brutal. I was like a WWE guy when I was a kid. But man, I remember I was just like, you know what? I want to learn the art of self-defense. I shouldn't be afraid to just, to get hit. You know what I'm saying? To get
Right.
hit, get hit, it's like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Now
Mm.
you got hit. So what else? You know, now you just keep going, you know?
Right. What comes after that?
Right. And so it was, and of course, like my parents were super like, oh, okay. That was a very left turn kind of thing. Because it was the first thing I did when I went to Florida. It was like 4 months in, I was like, I need a stress reliever. I need something, you know, I'm not the type of guy who wants to just like try to rely like on pills or something to just be like, you know, like get me through the days and all that stuff. I had work to We'll say so busy. So, you know, I
Good
need
job.
yeah, and I never really like traditional workout. Like nowadays I do, because I'm really trying to like stay in shape. Like I'm back in the gym. That's why I'm posting. Like I'm like, you know, I'm going because, you know, the whole COVID thing, still being safe. You know what I'm saying? But like MMA was really something that changed my life, because it was like, it taught me that you know, you don't have to be the biggest, baddest looking dude in the gym. I know dudes who are long guys, who are black belts in jiu-jitsu, who like freaking kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? And they just look so normal, you know? Like, it's not about like, and then you get the big muscular guys that are usually pretty slow, you know? They don't
exactly. They can't move like fluently.
You get like, you know, you get that realistic approach to it. So, I mean, that's why I say like 5 years later, it's crazy for me to think about, because I'm like, man, I've been doing this for 5 years now. Like, you know, but it's a big part of my life, and I don't see it changing anytime soon, you know?
Right. Yeah. That, and you are a tattoo aficionado.
Everywhere.
Right. Exactly. It gets addicting, I hear.
Yes, it does. And you know, see, for me, it was one of those things that like you know, both my parents have tattoos. So of course, when I'm seeing that growing up, it looks cool. Like, you know, I want one too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you already, like, I've always been that like wild kid. Like if you see old photos of me, it's just like I got all these different kind of like I have a Batman mask. I used to draw on my hands and all that kind of stuff. And oh my God, I used to get so upset. My mom used to get so upset. I used to draw my hand and stuff. So I really wanted to get tattoos. Of course, that was a big part of my journey. But I wanted to do it right. I wanted everything to, like, you know, go together.
Right. Have a story about it.
Yeah, I wanted it to make sense.
Like an art piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted it to all be an art piece. I didn't want to just have random like ink. You know, I wanted to have stories behind it. That's why I ended up being like, you know what, one tattoo. I got my whole sleeve at once.
Oh wow! In one sitting.
12-hour session.
Oh wow! I've never really heard nobody saying that.
It hurt really bad. My arm was like a raw piece of steak for the next like 2 weeks, because I had to do the shading. It's like 2 weeks later, because like when you outline, you gotta wait for it to heal for 2 weeks. It has to peel. That's what I'm saying. The peeling process, people never like talk about that. It's brutal. Like I have like tattoos for a little while now, but like now it's like, you know, it peels and whatnot. It is absolutely crazy. Wait, hold on.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so we're gonna get to the music now. You drop Captions, and it came a viral success with a dance craze that goes along with it. How did that all come about?
Out of the blue. You said, how did say that again?
How did that all come about with the dance craze? Is that done strategically?
Oh, well, not exactly. Honestly, I really wanted to make it as organic as possible, because I feel like when you're in like my position, you gotta really approach it a very particular way, because it's like walking on a thin line of ice, and any little error is just like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's just one of those kind of guys, something like that. I wanted it to be as organic as possible. I had like 10 records after college, because I used to record in my home studio back in college, me and my engineer. And you know, when I got to the big boy studios, I just recording. You know what I'm saying? And I think I guess say a year later after recording, I had, like I said, like 10 songs, and then like narrowed it down to like 5. You know what I'm saying? So I had what we were gonna go with, and then we were gonna go with this one. And I had like stuff on my Instagram. We were gonna promote that, but it was like, because after I did my Reflections EP, that's where I was like, I did all the songs and stuff on that. I did the beats, and the only thing I didn't do was engineer. When I showed my parents that, it was like, hey, I'm taking this seriously. This is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to understand that. I didn't ask them. I didn't ask dad for a beat. I didn't ask mom for a writer. I wrote everything. I made all the beats myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I had been producing at that point for over 8 years, so it was okay. Like I was, like my beats were fire too. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? I can do this too.
You know what I mean? So like, you know, so then with Captions, it was a completely organic project. You know, it was me and Corey Moe and one of his writers. And if I could make the beats from scratch with the producers, because I'm a producer first, like I'm not an artist first. So, you know, I like to make it piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? Piece by piece. Together, you know what I mean? So that's the way we were able to do that. And I remember, like, you know, I was like, oh, use that drum, use that. You know, it was dope. And you know, he's one of UGK's dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's Pimp C saying Corey Moe in the beginning. I'm a big Pimp C fan myself. I love 3 6 Mafia. What's it called? UGK. Just that whole like scene. They just always been like, you know what I'm saying? And because in Atlanta, you know, you grow up in the South, like that's just all your kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That was cool to me too. But like, you know, we did the song, and then I had this listening party. That was guys, like a whole year and a half ago at this point. It's just crazy. But like, I had this listening party. It was rolling out, and my publicist put it together. I had like 70. I want to have like 70 unbiased ears, people that didn't know me, just industry people. It could have been like anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
70 people in the room. I was like, guys, I'm gonna make it simple. We're gonna play 5 records, whatever y'all like. Raise your hand. You know what I'm saying? And most votes is gonna win, and it's just gonna get the video and whatever. So that ended up being Captions. Then I was like, all right, cool. So we got the song. I was like, now I want to do something to bring people together. Like if I got this easier quote unquote platform because of the whole heritage thing, let me do something that's gonna bring people together and kind of just make, you know what I'm saying, make them enjoy
Mm-hmm.
make them, you know, really mess with me as an artist too, not just be like, oh, you know, like even if it's fire, it's like, yeah, you know, but he's one of those dudes. It's like, you know, it's the story or whatever is not as, you know, is not as, I guess, inspiring as most rappers and singers and stuff who really don't come from these kind of backgrounds and whatnot. So I want to bring people together. So so Phil Wright did the dance. He created the dance, and they killed it. It was him, this little Chinese girl, and this little black kid. They were killing it, and it was like dope. So then I'm not really much of a dancer myself, not too much. Like just I do a little something, a little thing here.
All right.
But I'm not too much of a dancer myself. Of course, my mom's been dancing for, you know, she's in TLC. They dance all the time. That's just the thing. You know what I'm saying? She's dancing 8 hours a day in rehearsals and stuff. Like I'm used to that kind of stuff. She's like, oh, obviously I want to do the challenge. I'm like, oh, of course, that's what's up. Like I'm like,
she killed it too.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool. So then I went down to Detroit, and I wanted to see a couple of their shows because they were on tour. And you know, because when I was younger, I used to just be able to go on tour all the time. You know, so I was able to, you know, actually clear up my schedule and just be out there a couple of days. But while I was out there, you know, that was when we did the whole challenge thing, and it was just crazy how it all came together because I was getting on a flight back to Atlanta that same night. So you got to, you know, so my position is like, okay, cool. Then we posted, and then it's all this like media stuff going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Instagram blowing up, and it was like, then everyone's around the world started doing the challenge. It was just crazy, man. Like the way it came together, it made me so happy, you know, because I don't really care more about I don't really care much about the numbers and sales and stuff. Like I had to get everything together with the song, like to get it released right, because it wasn't even released yet, you know. It was just emotion, you know, and so. I was able to luckily get with a good distribution company, and you know, because I was already with a distribution company, but like this one, it was like a good deal, you know what I'm saying? And put the record out faster, still get on all platforms because it had to get all organized. So by the time Arson came around and I got like all set with my people and stuff, oh man, everything's so organized now because you know, even if something blows up out of the blue, it's like, you know, we got all the coordination together because at the time, it was, oh whoa, okay, bet, all right, let's get it together, but. Man, it was dope. It was so dope.
The funny part is, like, you see the internet and you see everybody doing the challenges on their TikToks and all those kind of things. Exactly. Correct. And then you see all the young people and stuff, and then your mom does the challenge, and she damn near breaks the internet.
Right.
When she does the challenge, you know what I mean? So that was pretty dope.
That was amazing, bro. And I'm telling you, like, and then because then once she did it, like. Everyone in the world did it. It was like I got videos from Brazil, like Korea,
definitely,
you know, Africa, like literally anywhere you can name, London, and even with the new stuff that's happening. And that's the cool thing, like when you do something that brings people together, you make your fan base more wide and more open to, you know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of fans. I mean, I've been kind of, I guess, traveling throughout the world just growing up, but like, so I've known people from all like, you know, places, but having fans.
Right, so now it's you.
Yeah, man, because like that's what I always wanted to do is just build my own organic fan base because I've seen it growing up and it's amazing. Like you see a TLC army, oh my gosh, like that's so dope. You know what I'm saying? You want that kind of stuff,
right?
Like, and I don't feel the whole pressure thing of I gotta get that. Like no. You
right.
got your own version of that, and that's great. You know what I'm saying?
What's for you is for you.
Yeah, that's why I'm like I feel like with someone like me or whatever, how they say Hollywood kids. I grew up in freaking Atlanta, so I don't.
I know, right? You're not a Hollywood kid. You're an ATL kid.
Yeah, bro. I'm dirty South.
Right, exactly. That. And you recently, this week? You dropped Arson this week? Right.
I think it just dropped like 2 weeks ago because I'm about to release the video soon. The videos, I'm getting just some like little tweaks together and stuff because I had the rough draft version. Oh man, I can't wait for the video to be out.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And congratulations on everything. Your music is good. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
It's not mumble rap, everybody. You know what I mean? No offense to anybody.
No,
you know what I mean?
Of course. I mean,
but
listen, every style. I mean, I think you can get inspiration from every like style. I've been asked like, what's better, this new days hip hop or old, and I'm like, don't say what's better.
Right, comparing everything.
Like here, I put it this way, right? Like I grew up listening to a lot of rock. Like I like Kiss, like Gene Simmons is my biggest inspiration. Just like I went to a concert when I was 6, and I was blown away because it was just like, oh my God, Kiss and Blue the Fire and stuff. Why does rock have to get all these different genres from heavy metal to classic rock to alternative? They get all this stuff, right? But then you on hip hop, or R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like
urban,
soul. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's alternative rap too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the like old school '90s rap.
Rock rap, it's rock rap and everything.
Rock rap, yeah. There's even country rap if you're into that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
I feel like there's something for everybody. So like I try to really like mix the styles in that I personally have been inspired by. And see, that's a cool thing about my parents. They're really like, they love all music. So like, I'm growing up listening to rock and roll on one side, and the other side I'm listening to like pop, R&B, soul, and then, hip hop here and there too. You know what I'm saying? Discovering Lil Wayne when I'm like 8 years old, and all my friends at school like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I try to take from all the inspirations that I have from all the rock and all the rap and, every other genre that I've listened to, and just try to make my own version, and not just be so over the top, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just fly with it and grow. I feel like there's a lot of room for me to be in a lot of other genres as well, and I'm going to pave those ways too. I'm just getting started. I've only been in the real game for like a year and a half or something like that now, but obviously I'm growing up in it. But the whole different.
It's refreshing too. So I say, do you, young man? Do you keep on running? You know what I mean? And keep pushing. Because it's pretty refreshing to see young, productive music. Like, I don't hear you talking about weed, and nothing wrong with that. Everybody got their lane, but I don't hear you. I hear you talking about subject matters.
Yeah. Listen, it's just like, for me, it's not even about making either clean lyrics or this or that. It's like like even some of the lyrics in Arson and stuff. Like, some people say it's a little vulgar, a bit much. I don't really like. I like to, like, how like when you watch like kid movies and you're the adult and you're watching it with your like cousin or whatever. You're laughing at stuff that they're not laughing at because you get things that they don't get. Exactly. I like to rephrase things and not have to just be so blunt with it, because I don't really want their parent walking in and they're blasting some TRON'S music and it's saying all this, and you know what I'm saying, just monetizing women and stuff like that. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I have a lot of strong women around me. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend, my mom's a strong woman. My grandma, my girlfriend, they're all like, I feel like I'm entitled to look out for all these people. So, I feel like me saying stuff that goes against it, and TLC is a very pro-woman group. So for me to say stuff that demonetizes women, it's just, I feel a little downright disrespectful. So I feel like, I don't feel like rappers lack like any kind of, people, like, that's why I say people say what they, you know what I'm saying? I don't compare my style to anybody. I just, I like to put things away. I put them just because I keep in mind a lot of like little things. Like, I don't want my cousins thinking that like, they can't listen to my music and stuff. I got a lot of little cousins and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just like to be, I like every age range to be able to say that they like my music. You know what I'm saying? From 86 to 60. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's going to really expand your opportunities and growth as an artist in the long run. And then on top of that, it's just like writing poetry and doing that kind of stuff. I remember just long airplane rides. It's like 14 hours and stuff, just traveling and stuff like that. I'd always be writing poems and stuff. I try to get creative with words. And even when it came to school, man, I'll tell you, I got B's, I got A's and B's, and then, like high school would be more like B's and C's. But honestly, vocabulary was I was always getting 98s, like 200s.
Right. And I tell everybody to be a musician, rapper.
I love words. Like, the more words that it's not even about saying that you're better, all this kind of stuff. I just feel like it just gives you the ability to just be able to rephrase a bunch of things. You get a lot of points across, Like I'm a very visual learner, and I really struggled with teachers that never gave me the visual aspect. If I had one option as a teacher, it was just, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I wanted to be as versatile as possible that I could break it down to anybody,
Right. And you have to love words, and it gives people.
I just want to get the message across as cool or just different as possible. And in that, when you're creating music, especially in a time like this in a pandemic, where you're so limited to creating, to creation and just that kind of stuff, you got to really get creative and try to keep it fresh and just mix it up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And give people the room to infer what you're saying instead of, because everybody going to have a different meaning of what you say and take the song their own way.
Exactly, bro. It's just, it is, man, everyone's going to interpret it differently. It's just like, that's why I say, like, I like Johnny Depp. He's one of my favorite actors, right? But I like him because it's what he says in his interviews that really inspires me. Like when he's done with his work, he says he doesn't even watch his movies. He was like, no, it's none of my business. It's because it's like, once I'm done on the set, it's up to the audience to interpret it as such. Who am I to judge their eyes, what they interpret? Why should I force them to see it this way? You know what I mean? That's why I like to do my music. I'm like, go ahead. What am I? Are you a rapper, singer? I don't know. What do you want me to be? Go ahead and call me what you want. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Do I sing or do I rap to you?
I like that. I like that like outlook. I feel like it makes me a little bit more creative and just not so, what am I trying to tell the people? What am I trying to do this? I have my message. I have my whatever I want to say about the song, but if you get something totally different, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you feel something else in the song, you're right too. I agree. You know what I mean? That's how I like to look at it.
Right. And you mentioned a little earlier how people think you don't come from the same story as other rappers that come out, but yours is kind of a double-edged sword because you have to be a certain way because you got iconic parents. So people still gonna blame them for stuff.
Yeah, and you gotta figure out who you are. You gotta, you can't.
Exactly.
Like, I've always been like that, but it's like I knew that there had to be a way for me to come across into. It's like you have to demand your respect, right? You can't just say, "Hey, I'm a human too." Hey, I don't. It's not a problem being so and so's son, but do you always want to just be identified as someone else's something?
Right.
Like, don't you want something for yourself? And I met a lot of people in the industry. I met a lot of kids or whatever. Some people are like that. A lot of people swing the other way. I know Steve Harvey's son. He goes. What's it called? SCAD, and he's a photographer. I've done plenty of photo shoots with him. That boy's family. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who I see who like to create their own way too, because you have to have kids one day. They have to get inspiration from you. Your grandparents are not going to be there forever. You can't just keep saying that what your grandparents said. Oh my God. You want to be able to say that you did a lot of stuff too,
Exactly.
And that's why I wanted to be able to be, I'm like, if I'm going to be in music, I need to be the best in music. That's why I was like, I always had the opportunity. Like, you have the freedom to choose your career, such as, entitled kids or whatever they want to say, whatever you want to say, like have an easier career path. If you get to choose it, that's what my mom said, especially, just be the best at it. You could be a basketball player, be the best. Anything less is just it's not acceptable. So that's the only pressure I put on myself every day to live up to. If I'm gonna do this, I gotta be the best at it. I can't just be making records and putting them out. I've been making music since I was, as far as like even recording, since I was like 16, 15. But I was like, I gotta, to be Tron Austin, they need to understand what Tron Austin, who Tron Austin. Right now, you're not, you're finishing school and stuff. So you gotta play your cards. So you gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Bide your time, and it's all good, because on the flip side, it is already a lot of tension that's going on. So when you do something, it's like, it's not going to be impossible to get to this, but I always say, I can't buy your respect. I can't buy you as a fan. I gotta earn that myself, And if I don't go with that mindset with everything, then I have a massive ego issue, and I don't have an ego personally. I really let go of stuff like that. I give the same respect that I give Beyonce to the trash guy every day, because sure, everything has placement. Everyone can't be a superstar, because it's like Syndrome said from The Incredibles. If everyone's a superhero, no one would be. It's true.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody can't.
And that's why you have to respect it. You have to respect every single solitary thing, like waking up every day, being able to have eyes to see, like your daily trash people. You know what I'm saying? What that gets you through the day. Like, when the trash guy doesn't come in over piles, oh my God, your day is a little bit more stressful. Yeah, without them. You know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff, bro. And so when you keep that little stuff in mind, And that's why I keep that MMA circle around, because that's a lot of humble people, because they're fighters. They have to fight for their stuff. Like
Yeah, you got to stay focused.
yeah, man, it's about focus. Like I don't like to have people around me that don't have goals. You know, if you have
Right.
a empty, just if you're just in space and you don't have an objective, it's just like I don't know. I can't really relate to you. You know, it's not that I'm going to disrespect you and I look down upon you, but it's more like I really coincide with people who can inspire me, and I can really look at them and be like, that's cool. Like I'm trying to do that, but because I don't have any competitive spirit in me, so I'm like, you need to have inspiration around you. So if you're not competitive, you need to have inspiration, because the competition people are always going to have that, and sometimes that will get you to that point. But I just don't. That's not a cool way to live to me. I don't like to live with the chip on my shoulder, you know.
And the energy around you is important.
Yeah. And trust me, it took me years to get my circle right, and it took me to 2019. The roughest year, like as far as the circle part goes, into 2020. That's why I say even with the Arson lyrics, it's like you're a light shining, but everything around you got to be aware of. Like you're Arson in this thing, but they don't understand all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's people that see you from the distance. You can't get caught in your own zone. You got to be very aware. That's how a lot of these rappers will die and stuff. It's sad. It's unfortunate. I don't like to keep big crowds around. It's too many brains. It's too many thoughts that go through people's heads.
Opinions, everything.
Too many opinions, bro. You gotta, and it's not about being so shut off that you only limit yourself to maybe you and your, me, you, your mom, your girlfriend, or something like that. You just, or you and your uncle, something like that. Like, you and your baby brother, your cousin. No. You got to make sure that those people, especially the people that are going to be most vulnerable to your life, especially family members and stuff like that, you got to make sure they're in check, that they're right. My mom did a big thing, like making sure that our circle was filled with good people. I saw families growing up. I didn't see rock star lifestyle. Yeah, of course I see that stuff. But mostly I see families, and I see growing like trees, roots, branches out. I want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And see, for me, I'm like, if I can. And that's why I've been in my relationship for 2 years. I'm like, if I can get with somebody who's going to be there since the beginning, before even my career itself blows up, regardless of where I come from, that's going to be your best bet. It's not even about day ones exactly. If those day ones are doing good, right? That's cool. If not, even your friend, like brothers and stuff, like, yeah. But if they're not doing anything, they're not doing it right, you're going to suffer. And they're not. You're going to be dragged down by people. And that's why I think that certain rappers died and stuff too. And that's why I think that like, you got to be smart, and that's why I try to be as smart as possible. Even when it comes to the game, I want to be so knowledge and so soaked up with as much as I know. So then the PKAG, you can't look at me and say that I don't do anything. I spent countless hours, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. like hour times in Full Sail, and I'm not giving myself like y'all need to respect me. Like, nah, bro. But I know what I put in. I've been in studio sessions where dudes straight up try to say, oh yeah, the headphones, like they're trying to they know that I might be me, so they're trying to just stall for time. And I'm like, bro, where's the jack? Every studio has this jack. If you don't have this jack, I'm like, go to the back and get the jack. Right. I'm gonna go to the manager and I'm gonna ask him. Oh no, all right, bro. I'm like, bro, stop BSing me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's ridiculous.
A lot of stuff. I even working with writers and stuff, working with producers. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, after you get all that creative stuff out the way, you really gotta handle like stuff. And me being more like, let's just be creative and let's just do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Whoever. That's why I always tell my fans, if you have beats, just send them. I don't care if you're blue check on Instagram. My producers, most of them don't have blue checks on Instagram.
Yeah, right.
I like hungry people, man. I like people who really want it.
And at first, they didn't have a blue check. If they do have one,
yeah. And then there's nothing wrong with people who, after you do get, like, I have a certain standard too. I wouldn't just work with just anybody out of the blue. Of course, you have to have skill. Of course, you have to have drive. But I'll tell you this. I would work with a producer like the ones I work with that send me 20-pack beats that are really good beats. And it's just because they have potential and they don't get noticed just because, maybe they're just not noticed yet. There's a lot of producers in the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then a blue check dude who's going to give me 2 half-ass beats that's not going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
A little bit for the clout. Like, nah, bro. If I can build these young bucks up with me too, keep them off the streets, why wouldn't I do that too? If they have the drive and the inspiration to do it, like, that's what it's all about, bro. If you have leverage, if God blesses you into a position to help, you should help. You shouldn't just be greedy and say, yeah, I got it too. Like, it's okay. Nah, bro, you got to get it yourself, bro. So that's what I always try to tell my fans and just inspire them to do too.
Right. So when you get a new beat from somebody, how long does it take you to listen to it before you know if you're feeling it or not?
Like first I like the beat drop first. You know what I'm saying? If it has a build up, like some beats will throw me off and be like, ooh, it just turned into this, because I know how the producing process goes. And sometimes I wait for my drop. Sometimes I'll throw it off, have like a little sample melody, then do a drop. It's usually like the drop, and that's why I like to have a lot of options. And that's why, again, I mean, if it's fans, I've done beats, I've done songs on, I've done songs on fans beats before, like plenty of times. I used to sell beats in college. That was like my little side hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Just sell
exactly.
college, get Yeezys and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I wasn't trying to ask my mom for extra money and stuff. That was just like, why would I do that? I'm in college. I got my spot, like my little, like, little. I mean, Full Sail didn't have dorms, so I had like this little house thing. You know what I'm saying? But like I was like, I need to, I'm not gonna sell drugs, of course. That's not my style.
You couldn't do that. Like, unfortunately, if you wanted to, you couldn't do that.
Let me just, that was just what I was doing. And I wasn't doing it all the time, but I mean, that was just like my little thing. And then, that's why when I'm looking for beats, I know what I'm looking for, because I know what people might be looking for. I've sold beats. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you just you just give yourself as much stuff as possible. If I was going to be a lawyer, I'd be in law school. I'd be studying the law back and forth like it's you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
It's not my business. You know what I'm saying? But in this music game, I'm trying to be as versatile and know as much as possible. Play as many instruments as possible. As many genres as possible. If it's in my wit span, if it's not my thing, hey man, stay away from it. It's all good. You got to try things. That's why I always say that people, like, they ask me how to be a better artist. I'm like, be open to criticism, but don't take it so harsh, because not everyone's going to like your music anyway.
Exactly.
You got to take constructive criticism. If you have a majority vote situation, then yes, like maybe if most people say this, then it's like, okay, then don't change that. But you don't have to change your whole style. You want a different way to deliver it, And people take it so harshly that they want to turn into all different artists or just shut down. And I'm like, this music thing isn't an overnight thing most of the time. Even because people always think it's something like that. Like, what? I'm not signed to some major record label yet, and I'm not like chasing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking my journey, and if that comes along, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? If it's right, I guarantee you that I won't be in a bad deal, because I definitely have. You know what I'm saying? Like, my parents got knowledge on this kind of stuff, so that's why, like, you got to play your cards right and use your advantage points where it's necessary to use it. When it comes to the knowledge standpoint, what can you gain? What can you avoid? Like bad crowds like this, different people, different money stuff, like, of course, contracts and stuff, all that kind of stuff is where you use those kind of vantage points to where you rely on knowledge, because that's just pure, like, common sense. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the actual art part of the music and stuff, I mean, you got to find your own journey. That's why I say it might take a while. For me, it took a little while. Like, I just thought I was gonna make chill music, but I'm kind of more of a hype guy. So, like, Reflections has a whole different vibe from Captions, and for a reason. I was more timid. I was more scared at that time. I was going to record in front of everybody. It was more, you know what I'm saying? It was just more like me just getting my feet wet. But that's why I didn't put too much promotion behind it, because I didn't want it to be that kind of thing. I just want y'all to see it organically. I'm just doing my thing, Y'all might think I'm not doing anything. I'm just learning right now. Let me go ahead and put something out. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was feeling during that time. So, everything just falls, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everything falls into place at the right times. And that's why I'm 23 now, and I'm talking to you as a 23-year-old. When I was 18, I don't think our interview would probably be the same if I had the same stuff going on.
Growth.
Yeah. At one point, I didn't want to finish college. I was like, oh, I want to be in the industry so bad. But I was like, but if I don't do it, I'm gonna feel like I didn't. I like to complete tasks, man. That's why when Muay Thai, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be the best MMA person I could be without being professional. They want me to compete so bad. I'm like, I'm a music guy, guys. They'll be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I train like I'm training for a fight. But I'm really just training because I'm really trying to get that good. You know what I'm saying? I just really have a mindset that I just want to go. I just want to do it. So when it comes to the music thing, I was like, it's going to happen at the right time. If I have something that blows up, I'm going to have it at the right time. I'm going to know how to do it the right way when that time comes. You know what I'm saying? Handle interviews, handle this kind of stuff with ease. 30 interviews later, I can talk as casual as possible. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I've ever been putting on a front, because I'm like, until people see the real Tron, you're going to always have this designated, like, this image. And because it might be because of your peers, it might be because of former people in your position, it might be, tied to whatever legacies of this, whatever, or just people's expectancies of what people are supposed to be before they see the real thing. But that is what I have to do. And that is exactly what I wanted to do. And I think that I'm doing it the right way. And I'm create an organic fan base, and I'm just gonna keep going. You know,
That's
I don't
dope.
care how long it takes to. I don't, you know, I'm not in a rush. Like,
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to be the best I can be. I see like they say that. Like some fans say, what I see myself doing like 10 years later. I'm like being in an orchestra, conducting an orchestra or something.
Yeah.
Being the, you know what I'm saying, knowing that much music that I can do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Motion pictures for movies and stuff, like game soundtracks. I'm looking at that stuff too, along with the artistry.
Exactly.
You know.
And you're not just a musician. Like, are you developing a game? Is it an app or a game system?
Mm-hmm. It's an app. It's first going to be an app, and it's going to be pretty much like, cause I play a lot of MMOs, and that means pretty much open world customization, create characters. Like, I've always been really crazy about games like that. I used to play a lot of Halo, like I still play a lot of Destiny, a lot of games that give you real customization. So I want it to be similar to that, and it's going to like involve my music, of course, as well. And I have an icon created that's going to be introduced in my video as well, the animated thing. I've teased it a little bit, but the finished version is finally done. That's why I'm waiting on my tweets for the video just so I can get all this stuff like 100%. But yeah, the video is going to be introducing that app, and it'll be coming out sometime in September.
That's dope. Yeah, congratulations. I think what makes you mysterious is that everybody knows who you are because of your parents, but they didn't have you all out on TV and stuff where people knew how you grew up and how you were acting when you grew up. So now to see you so well spoken and so intelligent.
Thank you.
And driven.
And you know, right, and driven. And the thing is, and they would see glimpses, you know, VH1 shows, right? I mean, mostly scripted, not like all the way scripted, but you know, just kind of like stuff you just say, you know what I'm saying? Scenes, just a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I always say, like, I used to get criticism for stuff I wear and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, but it's funny because you fast forward a few years later, everyone's wearing the same kind of stuff I was wearing. And I don't have a chip on my shoulder about it. I always thought I was just futuristic. You know, It's okay being weird, bro. I'm like, if you're weird, if you're pleasing everybody, you're seriously doing something wrong, you know?
Right.
They're like, you know, why'd you make your hair like this? I'm like, well, my hair does that. You know, we have an Indian heritage. I like ninjas and Naruto and stuff like that. Dragon Ball Z, as you can see, like, that's just like, I was just, you know, I'm just into that kind of stuff. It's so, you know, when you're just so creative, you just want to be creative. And you know, the cool thing too, though, like, even like both my parents, they would just never let you go over some limit of like creativity. Like if I like, oh my gosh, I remember at one point, like I'm saying, when you're a kid and you're seeing all this stuff. I remember I wanted Jabot jeans, right? I wanted the Jabot jeans so bad. You know the Jabot jeans.
Oh yeah, of course.
Man. So it took me forever.
Jabots and Reeboks.
The Bows and the Reeboks, bro. Like the Reebok pumps, the red ones, the rats, bro. Because we with the little thing, my friends and I used to collect them all, bro. So when I got the Reebok pumps and the Jabot jeans, I remember, and I wanted Hurricane Chris had the A bass song out. I wanted the beads on my like braids and all that stuff, and my mom wouldn't let me, so I put these like Mardi Gras beads or something like that. And I put a hat on, and I was like, I'm not letting you go outside like that.
Like no.
Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a kid, you know what I'm saying? I see it on TV, like, oh, let me create it. Let me make it happen. I make my character look like that. Let me make myself look like that. Like, you know, so that's just, you know, but like, that's what makes me want to make the game like that, because I want it to be very innovative and creative, not just some, you know, just random thing. I want to have like an objective and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Planting seeds, man. Planting seeds.
Planting seeds. Is it a tentative time for it to drop, or are you still developing it?
It's what's this called? I'm still, the game?
Yeah, the game.
Oh yeah, no, it's still developing, because we gotta because like it's gonna be a level system, so it'll be like level 1 through whatever. You know what I'm saying? It might be 10 levels for the first, you know, couple months, and then you know you update it, because that's the cool thing about apps. You can always update them. You know, you can always, well, any game in general, but you know, apps are smaller than console games. And the cool thing about this company is that I actually they've done stuff for PlayStation and whatnot too. So you know, if I just keep going with that, things keep going well. And I've started streaming Twitch recently with my girlfriend, so we're just trying to start that game system back up, because another thing people didn't know I was doing a lot of Xbox YouTube and stuff. So a lot of people know me as Time Fly by the Xbox Halo guy. So they didn't know that I was a singer's son either. So I have a lot of followers on Instagram be like, yo, are you that dude from Halo on Xbox? Till this day I get messages like that. I'm like, wow. And I still know a lot of my buddies that I used to do a lot of the videos with, like 12 years friendships. Never met these people. Like, that's why I say the game community is a different industry. Like, if you're really a gamer, I'm a hardcore gamer. You really build relationships with people in a whole different kind of way, because, you know, you spend more hours with these people than your own freaking friends. Like, you know, and the risk of you being in a position of anything. Like, I used to be in Soldier Boys, like clan. Like, we used to always play together and stuff too. Like, but the risk of you really being in like bad positions on that kind of stuff with being on an Xbox or whatever is just low. So I spent a lot of time in my room. You know, I didn't really have a problem, you know, really just being there mostly by myself, or just have my friends come over because we were always playing games and stuff. You know what I mean? And so then I started doing that while I was in middle school and high school. And at one point I had a video that had like 50, 60,000 views of just Halo or something like that.
Right, Halo stuff.
You know, so now I like had to take the stuff down because it's like my music channel. I still have it. I'm going to move it to this game channel where my girlfriend and I put our game channel up along with my podcast that's going to come out in September too. You know, moving all that stuff around. Like, people hit me up on like, yo, why all the Ninja Ninja Halo videos are gone? I'm like, bro, I'm gonna put it back up, okay?
I know.
Put it down for now.
So yeah, people missing it now.
Yeah. But now everything's coming full circle because like I can talk about what I've been doing this whole time. So
right.
I'm like, bro, that's why I said, Tron, when people give a damn to talk to you, and they will, because you'll have music out and you'll have stuff circulating, you'll be able to say the stuff that you're doing. You don't have to like be, you know, the media doesn't have to be so like, oh my gosh, you got to get it right. Oh my God, da da da. No, you're just
right. Yeah, you want to see who you are, not like what people try to mold you out to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So this, like I said before, it's refreshing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like I can tell you are you. You know what I mean?
100%.
So that's pretty dope. Do you ever think about getting into acting or anything?
At some point, because it's like I'm not the best with memorization stuff, but like not the best, but I mean, of course, if I put my mind to it, I know I can just do it. And you know, I mean, growing up, I do like voices and stuff. I can do accents and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely would entertain it, voice acting as well. But if I had to select some kind of genre, like what kind of movie, I'd definitely say like a super villain in like a Marvel movie or something like that.
I can see that.
Yeah, and you know the thing, I always think everyone's like the villain is like, oh, what, because your image and stuff. I'm like, well, no, not just that, but I think that villains really make the heroes, like, you need to have a good antagonist to build up a good protagonist. There's no, you know, without Darth Vader, you know, most people aren't gonna know Star Wars. It's just because the greatest antagonist made the whole plot good, and I just think that, you know, I guess my look, my image, my little persona, or whatever, I could sell that. You know what I'm saying? Be some super villain for a Avengers movie or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That'd be fun.
Yeah, that sounds dope. What I want you to do now is let everybody know how they can go check out your music and stuff.
For sure. So they can follow me on Instagram at Time Fly By. They can subscribe to my YouTube, which is Tron Music. That's at Tron Music. My Twitch handle is timeflyby777. But honestly, I always direct people straight to the Instagram because I know it's like a lot of like different little things like me having that Time Fly By name is usually goes. I usually can just keep that. Then it's like in Twitter, it's like, oh, someone has that, and like fan or something like. And I'm now it's like I have a lot of people who will just create different versions of my name. So that's why they were like, do you want to change it to just Tron? I'm like, no, because I also have a lot of stuff that goes with that thing, the whole Xbox. Like I can't really let the name go. It has to go with everything. So eventually everything's just gonna be Time Fly By, like, you know, that kind of thing, except my YouTube. So the main thing, Instagram. And, you know, my YouTube is Tron Music. And then, you know, that all will have like my Facebook and everything else. And then as far as my platforms go, I mean, you can find Arson and Captions on Apple Music, on Spotify. I think it's on, Arson's on this thing called Arson Playlist. So if you go to Arson Playlist on Spotify, it'll be on there. Amazon Music, you know, everyone has the thing, like Pandora, Tidal. I don't know. I think it might be on Tidal. I'm not sure. I didn't actually check. Like, Apple Music and Spotify are usually the first two. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying, that I'm just thinking about. So.
And everybody look out for that video, Arson, coming out.
Yep, Arson video coming in the next couple weeks. I don't want to say an exact date and then let people down. That's what I'm saying. So I just say the next couple weeks. But
coming soon.
Guarantee you. Let's just say this. With Captions, I feel like I was really able to rely a lot on imagery. But coronavirus came, and videos are not easy to do. I have asthma. I'm not going to risk myself in a lot of these video situations with a lot of people, and you know I could really be in trouble there. This is a very avoidable virus if you just do it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it forced me to get really creative. I had to go through like 3 different directors just to get the ideas down, and I think that after I looked at even the rough draft next to Captions, I don't have a favorite one, but I definitely say that the forcible creativity definitely pushes you in a different kind of way to make a lot more things happen. Let's just put it that way, you know, with a smaller budget, with a smaller studio, with all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff going on, limited access. You know, I think that me and my people were really able to make a super dope video, and my amazing girlfriend's in it with me. So of course that's going to be my new favorite video. So
looking forward to it.
So it's definitely something that I worked really hard on, and even with the animated stuff in there, I was doing the morph suit, so everything moving is me. You know, I wanted to make it super organic, you know, because that's how the game's gonna be. Everything even how they move, it's just really my movements. I spent like a good like 5 hours every like for the past like I want to say month, like 5 hours every like week, just on Fridays or something like that, going into the morph suit, making sure my character does exactly what I do type stuff. So
all right, that's dope. You gonna be all right. You gonna be all right.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
You got this. You at the driver's seat. You got this.
I appreciate
You know what I mean? All right, I got one more thing, then I'm gonna let you have your Saturday back.
Taking the lady out to a nice little massage, so we're gonna get.
Oh, okay. All right, you get your relax on. Get your relax on.
Relax on.
Yeah, right. You can have that one for free.
Right. I feel you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I hear that like you was almost not a musician because your parents didn't really want you to go into the music industry.
Say it again.
I hear that you were almost not choosing music because your parents didn't want you to go into the music industry.
Oh no, that's not necessarily true. It's like when I was they always gave me the freedom to just choose. I actually discovered like I'm always in the studio growing up anyways. You know what I'm saying? I'm always hearing hearing Madonna in the studio. I'm over there playing Mortal Kombat with my brother or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always there. I'm always hearing it. I taught myself how to play the drum set when I was 8 because Dallas was working with this band from London and they had the drum set in Dart. And I went there and I asked the guy and I was like, hey, mister, can I use your drum set while you're like not using it? I'm not going to break it. I know how to like play percussion or whatever. And then he was like, yeah, go on, Mike, you can knock yourself out, whatever. I was all right, cool. So, I taught myself how to play the drums that day. And like, of course, slowly but surely, it wasn't just like, boom, I just, every day I just kept going back and just playing, you know what I'm saying? And little did I know that my dad's oldest brother, my Uncle Plankham's actually the first drummer in the family. So, maybe those genes go ahead and just sprinkle down my way. Drumline is obviously dad's story, obviously just in putting, Nick Cannon and Zoe and all that. So, that was the first step. And then obviously I've been optimistic to whatever comes my way, whatever was going to be the thing. I always knew that entertainment was going to be it, but they always kept me aware of what would be the case if I went into the industry. So let's just put it that way. It wasn't like they wanted to definitely make sure I understood that it wasn't going to be just some like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was some walk in the park. Because it wasn't a walk in the park for me either. You know what I'm saying? It's not a walk in the park for anybody.
You know.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody had a walk in the park in the industry.
Not this
That's why it's the industry, Everyone has their ups and downs. So they definitely told me that it comes with a high level of stress intake and then, and a lot of management that you have to do and a lot of, stress management. You can't just stress yourself out too much and you got to be able to still be you, not have identity issues and stuff. It's a lot, bro. And I think that just, again, being my mom having me in a home environment, not really being away, sacrificing, I would say millions of dollars just to be there and take me to school every day most of the time. And if she didn't, it'd be my grandma. Now I had to ride the school bus, having my lunch made, all the little stuff, the time spending, the you know what I'm saying, the circle, making sure I had my cousins next door. They were super good. Like my cousin, he'd be 17 years old. I'm like maybe 11. I've never even heard of weed until I was like 15 or 16 or something like that. And I'm like 12 at the time. He never even mentioned stuff like that. So I had a real good circle, bro. And I understood what comes with the territory of being a descendant. It's just true. You have to be extra cool or extra dope if you want to go directly into that same path. It's just like if you're a real estate agent, your kids want to be real estate agents. They gotta be dope, they just can't be some like my accountant. He has this like he wants his son to be an accountant. So he shows him the art, counting money, all that kind of stuff. He's been doing that since like 7. You know what I'm saying? Just playing, bam, 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 playing that. Like I'm gonna have my kids in jujitsu and that kind of stuff at like 3 or 4. They're gonna know what discipline is and they're gonna understand what self-defense and not getting too cocky, not losing themselves. That's the only time you ever tarnish your goods is when you just lose yourself and you just become this like shriveled up, I'd say shell of a self that you used to be. And I don't ever like to lose my hunger. Like the biggest thing I deal with, I'm gonna say, is not letting myself off sometimes. I don't ever say that my music is dope. I don't like in the studio, I'm not my head. All right, yeah. I don't like to let myself get too unfocused. It's not about not giving myself credibility or not having doubt. I have confidence. I have a lot of confidence because I'm my own artist now. I know I have a good amount of people that like my music. So as long as I keep a consistent flow, I think I'll be pretty straight in that regard. But it's above and beyond that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I need to be like when Captions was getting dope, I was in the studio the next week because I was like, bet, I'm my most creative right now too. I don't want to get dry and let Captions just get all shriveled up. And the only reason I didn't have music dropping right after is because Captions just took so long to get together with the video and stuff. It was just a lot going on. So now Arson's out. In the next couple of months, I'm gonna have another song out. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Every other month. The plan now is every other month for me to have a song out. So it'll be a lot more stuff going on, and I won't have any kind of standstill. You know, that's what the cool thing about this Corona, whatever COVID pandemic. It's all the craziness of 2020, and it's been a lot. It's been a wild ride, but like on the artist side, on my personal scale, I mean, I missed out on like at least 7 or 8 shows as I was getting booked for like this tour. I had like a few shows in there. Of course, I was discouraged, but it gave me a lot of time to develop more songs, get more songs done, get more, you be a better performer, get my vocals more right. You know what I'm saying? You just use this time to just, like my fans ask me, I'm like, I'm meditating, practicing being, you know, my girlfriend and I practicing being 4 hours just quiet. In fact, just focusing on the mind itself. You know, just no, nothing. You know, not maybe the dog. You know, we have a pit bull, so you know that's inevitable. But you know what I'm saying? But like, no, but like at least something like every week. It's just about resetting. You know, as long as you reset, it's just like how you got to reset your computer after the battery gets low. You got to do that with your brain too. You can't just be soaked up in the media all day and expect to just still be creative, to still be this. You know, you got to be able. I don't have faith in humanity. I don't personally put my faith in people because we're people. You know, God is the only thing we can have faith in anyways. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you don't have a direction of a centerpiece, then, you know, it's just, you know what I'm saying? We're people. There's no way that you can just get in. You can't look to, it's like how people be like, I look to this person or this. Okay, cool. But you can't depend on them to save you in life and to get you through everything. You know what I'm saying? We're humans. We're not perfect. There's a reason we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that's why I say that I move the way that I move because, you know, and even during all this time, I'm trying to maintain sanity because, yes, I'm able to get a lot more songs done. And now I got over 20 songs in the vault. And maybe I'm going to use some of them. Maybe I won't. I think that artists, it's not really our job to just, you got to create what's hot. You know, my dad would always say, people would go up to him, hey, you know, Dallas, I'm going to give you $50,000. You know, can I get a TLC record? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, he's like, what does that even mean? You know,
I know, right. What's a TLC record?
Artists, you know, there is no TLC record. There is no Madonna record. There is no this. There's only you know what I'm saying? There's only what you create with the artists themselves. So that's why I really believe in organic creation. If I can be there with the beat starts and all that, we can just do it from organic. Now, you know, studio is time, there's hours. So, you know, you got to be very good with time management, not wasting money, because that's what a lot of artists do. And that's why their deals go so bad, because they're just sitting in the studio, you know, they're wasting time. You know, I've been taught to not waste time in the studio and let every second be used wisely.
Time is money.
Yeah, man. So you got to keep all that stuff into perspective. And, you know, and again, when you're someone who has any kind of leverage, like you said, I always say, you said it first, it's a double-edged sword. I was given the advice that the industry is going to shoot me with daggers, but those daggers can turn into roses. And, you know, they'll open up with roses. And I got to take those daggers. That means I got to have tough skin. You know, so, you know, it is what it is. So that's why.
At least you know how to absorb a blow now with your Jitsu.
Let go and just tap somebody out real quick. Woo, that felt good. All right, yeah, we're good.
Yes, right. Man, I appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get on out of here, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Man.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely. I know we'll have more interviews in the future. I always say to the people I interview, you know, I always have the uttermost respect for you guys because y'all take the time out to, you know, to live your day to interview me too. So I'm sure that we'll be back here, you know, sometime. It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too. I would love that.
For sure. Yeah. So yeah, no, and the last thing I want to say was my podcast is coming out in September. It was going to be August, but it's going to be me, my engineer, my other engineer, and / producer. So 2 boys, 1 girl, just like, you know what I'm saying, get a lot of perspectives. Everyone's, you know, working in the industry. And really what I wanted to be more about was like the sides that you don't really see. You know, a lot of the writers, a lot of producers come on and stuff, talk about the creative process, just random stuff, table talk, you know, casual talk like how we're talking right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, not everyone's gonna like your music. Not everyone might like this, but you got to give them a lot of options to like you. You know what I'm saying? To see the seed. So I love podcasts. I watch Joe Rogan every day. So I'm like, you know, I might need to do that too. I like talking. I like conversation. So you know, that's
looking forward to it. All right, now take your girl to get her massage. I know she over there tapping her foot.
Yes, I make sure to get her massage right now.
Yeah, man, appreciate you. Continued success, man. Holla at me.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Later.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Tron Arson coming at you guys live with Conversations with Cutty. Shout out to my 7 gang. You know how we do. 777 slap. We out.